Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. So here is the requested recipe video on my raw buckwheat stir. I can't remember the first time I tried buckwheat, but it hasn't been I think it's been a few years ago. And my first memory of it was when I came to visit my sweetheart in Slovenia, and I first tried buckwheat and loved it. Raw. There are many different types of buckwheat out there, and so the first thing I want to say about my buckwheat stir is that it's really important that if you're going to eat this raw, that you make sure the buckwheat is soft enough by the time you eat it. And the way I do that is I soak the buckwheat. So you can see here buckwheat. This was only about a cup of raw dried buckwheat, raw buckwheat that I then soaked overnight for about 10 hours, and this is going to be about 3 cups. I'm making some for Jade and I. You can see this is super soft. Like there's no hardness to it after 10 hours of soaking, nothing at all. It's so soft. If the buckwheat you have available to you is not this soft, I recommend soaking it for as long as you can, and then using lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, some sort of vinegar, and maybe a little bit of salt if you eat salt, to help to reduce it and break it down even further. So that's my tip for making it soft. Make sure the buckwheat is soft before you eat it. Otherwise, it can cause some indigestion. I soak it overnight and then I throw away the water, and I now have it and I'm ready to start making the stir, and it's going to be super easy. So I have the buckwheat here. I'm going to put this into a beautiful bowl. I love the smell of this buckwheat. Buckwheat is a pseudograin. It's actually a seed, and it's so rich in so many things. And inositol, which is great for circulation. It's a wonderful source of protein as well as zinc. And it's so earthy. The smell of it is so earthy. On a rainy day like today, or if you're in a cold climate, it's the perfect grounding and nourishing food, I think. And I have this usually about once a week when we're in colder climates and when it's available to me. Here's the buckwheat, and immediately I'm going to go ahead and add in garlic. This is 1 clove of garlic. The smells are coming together already. Some freshly cut diced tomatoes. Stirring. So I call it the buckwheat stir. There's a lot of stirring going on. I'm going to also add onion. Onion is a wonderful prebiotic which helps to feed healthy bacteria in your system. I'm going to do about this much. I like onion. I eat onion probably once or twice a week. Not every day, because energetically it's quite stimulating and I don't want that in my diet all the time. But when I do have it, I absolutely love it, and it makes salads and savory dishes, raw dishes. It gives it a beautiful flavor. If you don't like this in your diet, onion or garlic, skip all of that. All of these are just suggestions. They're the way I make my food. And if you watch my channel, my What I Eat in a Day videos, you know that most of the time I'm eating very simply. Lots of fruits, some green juices and green smoothies. But I love to make this dish again when I'm wanting something a little bit more earthy, grounding. So there's the onion. The garlic is in there. At this point, you can add salt if you want. I'm going to skip salt today, but I am going to add, for mineral density and for that salty flavor, iodine-rich seaweed. This is kombu. I also love wakame or a little bit of dulse. If you have kelp granules, that's a really great salt substitute. Just don't go overboard with the kelp, because kelp is very high in iodine. So be judicious around that. My eyes are stinging a little bit, but I wish you could smell. And the colors, right? So you're having the dark, luscious green of the kombu, the red of the tomato. Sometimes I'll add a bright yellow or bright red bell pepper to this, but I'm keeping it simple for you guys today, just to show you how quick you can make this amazing dinner. Okay, let's brush this aside. And now I'm gonna add in almost 1 full head of romaine lettuce. You can use whatever green you like. I have tried this with parsley. I didn't like it as much. I found the parsley to be not the right combination with the buckwheat, but that's just my personal taste. I love the softness and tenderness of romaine. This is very organic. I'm finding some extra B12. So here's some beautiful romaine. Some lovely romaine that I'm shredding. I love the taste of romaine with this dish. I've tried different greens. Again, parsley. I do love cilantro also with this dish, but romaine is probably my favorite, to be honest. There's a crispness that it brings to the dish. It balances the softness of the buckwheat really well. So I'm just going to stir all that in. So you can add, again, spices that you want to this. I'm definitely, when I make this dish, I love adding spices. This is a beautiful mix here from the Canary Islands of green and red mojo and some curry powder. So it's a mixture of curcumin, so turmeric. It's got dried parsley. It's got pimiento, red peppers. There's no salt in here. It's got dried garlic. You can see how liberal I am with that, because it's all good stuff in my book. I'm gonna mix all this in. One thing I think is really important to add is either lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, or apple cider vinegar to balance out, give a little acidity to the flavors. I just thought of something. I'd love for you guys to give it a try and let me know in the comments. First of all, try this and let me know how it is for you. But it's almost Christmas time. If you celebrate Christmas or just the holidays, one thing that just came to me, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and or you're in somewhere in the world where you have pomegranates available to you, adding some pomegranate seeds to this, I think would be so beautiful along with the green and bring out some Christmas colors. Give that a try and let me know how that goes if you want to. That's it. You can add some olive oil. That's also lovely if you eat oil. Otherwise, putting fresh olives, so full whole fats instead of the oil if you prefer. And that is it. It's a huge bowl. I will easily eat more than half of this. And let's give it a taste, shall we? Mmm. Delicious. Taste it and then spice it to your taste. Add salt, add some fresh olives, add other spices that you love. But most importantly, enjoy this. This is a nourishing, delicious, folate-rich, zinc-rich, lycopene-rich, protein-rich food. I'm actually going to put a sprinkle of a teaspoon of barley grass green powder, juice powder, for some added greens, and sit out and enjoy this. So that is my raw buckwheat stir recipe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Definitely try it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Subscribe for more videos. If you want some support on being vegan or eating a plant-based diet or a raw plant-based diet, check out my webinar. I will leave a link to that webinar in the description box down below. I'm sending you so much love. Bon appetit. Happy holiday season. Take care.